Welcome back. I'm Amy. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner, and I'm also an NPC Bikini and Fit Model competitor. And this is week something of, we're going to call it my improvement season vlog. So in my improvement season, because I have a lot of improvements that need to be made. So I mentioned in last week's video that, well, I didn't mention, I shared my check-in. So I actually have feedback from my coach this week, which will be fun to talk about. And I mentioned that I'm going to potentially be doing a 5-day fast, which I am doing. I'm actually on day 2 as I record this. But without further ado, let's talk about my feedback from my coach this week. I should have pulled this up. I thought I had it pulled up, but I do not. So my check-in, I had missed a couple of check-ins, kind of on purpose, or not on purpose, but purposefully, that I was just not feeling in the right headspace or anything at all to check in, and feeling a bit, well, you guys know, feeling a certain kind of way. So I was a little bit nervous, to do a check-in and just to to get my feedback from my coach. Oh, it's not going to give me the transcript. There we go. So my coach does send video feedback, which is awesome, but having the transcript to look through makes it a little bit easier. So he, first off started by saying, that he's not going to track me down for check-ins, which I said, yes, I don't expect him to, and that he assumed that I was just super busy. He read through everything I wrote, and, said that, yes, it may have been like direct feedback, but that is his job as a coach, to give me really direct feedback and to really tell me the truth about whether or not I should compete, and that that's only helpful for me. If the goal is to enjoy competing at the highest level, then that's fine. That's what you do. You enjoy the process. It's a lifestyle. It's generally healthy. Dieting for long periods of time and getting absolutely shredded is not healthy. And having, your normal bodily functions come back and all of that good stuff. So, yeah, that was, it was a lot to read through. So the main takeaways from all of it, were that, yes, I'm putting on weight, that he feels like I'm still, within a reasonable striking distance of a show or of a prep. Need to kind of continue to push things, but based on my recovery, he was hoping to increase my food a little bit and also increase the volume of my workouts, which I think is great news on both fronts. I do feel like I am at the place where I can have higher volume workouts, and I really have been wanting that, especially being in this upper meso. I mentioned, I think in my last video, that just in general, the workouts are not as taxing. Working legs, especially as a bikini competitor trying to grow my glutes, my leg days are pretty intense and a little bit more challenging for recovery. So just in general, the upper meso is not as challenging for recovery. So he said he's going to increase the volume throughout the week, and then also wants to increase my carbs pre and post workout. So that I am totally here for. I think that's great. And I looked at my workouts, and even today, like the workout today, just increasing. So on some things, rather than having like 2 top sets, I've got 3, which is awesome. So pushing a little more volume, and then of course getting some more carbs. Now, I am, of course, doing a 5-day fasting mimicking diet right now, so I'm not increasing my carbs, but I'm really looking forward to doing that later in the week. And that was pretty much it. He does want to see pictures, which, yes, I will take pictures this week and send them to him. And I'm going to try really hard to just really keep the lines of communication open with him, and, just really want to make progress this off season. And I'm really working on all of those things. And again, I appreciate everybody who's given me great input and feedback on, dealing with the mental struggles of prep and of reversing and all of that good stuff. And it's a process, and I'm not perfect at it, clearly, and it's different every time. So hopefully the struggles I've shared have helped somebody, and I'm more than happy to chat more about it. And as always, just really grateful for the feedback from you guys. So that was the feedback from my coach this week. And I have some fun things coming up this week. Tomorrow I'm going to be on with Dave and Jackie over at Blue Collar Bodybuilding, which should be great. Dave is a bodybuilder, so is Jackie. So Jackie actually turned pro last year. So if you go back and look at my videos, I think I can link the video here where I talk about Jackie winning her pro card Oh my goodness, she was so amazing. Just did incredible. They are so much fun. Just a really lovely couple, and both have just really like down to earth, solid people, and also great bodybuilders. So that'll be really fun. I'm really excited to chat with them and to be on their channel and interact with their audience as well, which should be really good. So by the time you guys see this, that will have gone up. So I can link that in the description below, and I'll also link their channel. So excited to see how that goes. And then of course I did decide to start the fast. So it's a 5-day fast. It's called Fasting Mimicking Diet, and I'll do a whole unboxing of it so you guys can see it, because it does come all packaged as like a kit. So every day has its own little box of things, and this is actually a studied plan. So it has real backed data on it, and that it does allow your body to be in this fasting mimicking state. So you're getting all the benefits of fasting while still getting some nutrient intake, so it's not quite so taxing. It is a journey. Fasting is something that kind of challenges you on a different level, because it is a mental thing as much as a physical thing, but it is definitely both. And in some of the benefits for me that I've found from doing fasting in the past is I always have a marked decrease in my resting heart rate, and also just kind of in a sense of, I don't know, like cleaning is not the right thing, but you get into almost like a meditative body state when you're fasting, because it's a process, and it is hard. Like I'm not going to say it's easy by any means. Now, does doing it this way make it easier than doing like a straight water fast? Absolutely. But either way, you're still giving your body a little bit of a digestive break, which I feel like is really beneficial, especially given some of the digestive issues I've had for the last couple of weeks. That's the part of it that I'm really looking forward to. Really giving my body a chance to kind of just really get everything cleaned out, give a little bit of a digestive break, and some of the other benefits of, autophagy and potentially anti-aging, and those benefits from fasting as well. Something that I always notice when I fast is that you don't realize how much food signaling there is all around us all the time, like all the time, until you're not eating. And then that's like, you pick up on it more, like, because it's like all you see. I mean, like even like watching a simple YouTube video, like every ad is for, food or something. Just the recommendations on Instagram, everywhere you go, like there's so much food signaling in our society. So it's, you start to notice things like that. The other thing that it really always makes me appreciate, and like, appreciate is maybe the right word for it, when you are done fasting, is kind of just a deeper appreciation for fueling your body and the food you're giving it. And, those are the benefits that I've taken away from fasting in the past. And you get great sleep for working out. So I did start the fast on a rest day, so that made it pretty easy. They do recommend not training or working out when you're fasting, but because, like I said, I've done it a number of times, I kind of see how my body is feeling. Obviously, I'm not going to push it or do something stupid. I do definitely cut back on like intensity of cardio. Don't, really try to push it in that sense, but keeping in some weightlifting for me has actually made me feel better in the past when I've been fasting. So that is my plan, to keep in my lifting, not trying to go like crazy, which is good because it's a week I'm not like shooting for a PR or anything. So keeping my lifting, but really scaling back on the intensity of cardio, still keeping a lot of movement throughout the day, but not trying to push it for cardio. And that's the other recommendation, is not to do any like sauna or anything that's really stressing your body, because you're already putting it under stress of fasting or of not eating. So wanting to make sure that I maintain my recovery. So today is day 2 of the fast, so I will be ending the fast in 3 days. So I'm going to see how I feel tomorrow. You definitely plan on training tomorrow, but then if I'm not feeling as good the next 2 days, I might take those as rest days. In the past, when I have fasted, I've found that I actually struggle somewhat the most on day 6. So the fast is 5 days. So reintroducing food, I have to be really careful with. You can definitely, after your body's had such a good clean out, food can move through your system much more rapidly, is what I've found. So I found that on the very first time I did the fast, I ate and then went out for a walk and was like basically running home because the food was moving through and I felt really bad. So I've since gotten better at learning how to reintroduce foods into my body in a way that it likes, after not eating for a few days. The other thing I've done, and I don't plan to do that this time just because I haven't fasted in so long, is I've basically skipped the 5th day's box of food and just done that as a complete water fast on the 5th day. So you're just kind of basing it on how I feel and like what I'm seeing as the benefits of the fast and all of that good stuff. Definitely had really low, not energy, but man, that I felt really fatigued yesterday. I seriously wanted to go to bed at like 6:30. I was sitting here on the couch and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I am like dead. Like I just need to get ready for bed. I ended up sleeping almost 9 hours last night, which was incredible, like deep, good sleep. Low heart rate, which was great, and just really felt like I feel like this is the right decision. You know, my body really feels like it's appreciating this. So even though with that said, there's still something like when you fast, it's a mental thing with the food because your mind will tell you like you need to eat, but like you're not. So kind of sitting with those feelings and allowing them to come up and like I said, it does change your appreciation for food for me in a very positive way. I'm not doing this as I've not had this be a weight loss thing in the past. Like when I fast, I don't tend to drop a lot of weight. You lose some just from like volume, right? Food volume isn't there, but that's not the point. So my goal is not to lose weight, and I am, taking my weight daily. So if I was seeing like a drop off, or if I was having any negative side effects, of course I would stop. But that's not my goal, and that's not been my past experience with this particular fasting protocol. So feeling good. Feeling a little bit, it's always a little bit like nerve-wracking is maybe not the right thing, but it's a big undertaking, and I don't want to mess it up. So just there are some nerves involved with it, or like nervous excitement of like, well, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be kind of hard, but I'm really doing it for the digestive benefits and also for the cellular autophagy and energy and all those things. So if you have questions about the fasting mimicking diet, you can leave those in the comments below. And like I said, I will do a big unboxing so I can show you guys all the little kits and everything that you get, because you do have food coming in every day, or nutrients coming in every day. But yeah, that's it. That's what I have planned for this week. It is supposed to be a pretty nice week here after all the rain we had last week. I think this week is supposed to be a little bit more pleasant, more sunny, more spring-like. Oh, and I forgot, I do have something else really exciting this week. So on Sunday, I'm actually finally doing a birthday dinner with a really good friend of mine who has been extremely patient with me, because we've been trying to get this scheduled. My birthday will have been like over a month since we've been trying to get this scheduled, but going out to my absolute favorite sushi restaurant of all time. Haven't been there since the start of prep last year. So I am really looking forward to that. And it'll be good because it will be a couple of days after my fast has ended. So my digestion will be back and I'll be ready to assimilate some fun, delicious foods. So I'm really looking forward to that. So definitely some fun stuff coming up this week, which is great. Back to checking in, feeling like everything is working well. And yeah, fun gym, fun dinner planned, lots of good stuff. So thank you all so much for joining me on this weekly journey. If you have any questions about the fasting diet, leave those below. In my outro, I will have a full recap of how it went. Probably won't have pictures from dinner at that point. That'll be in next week's video of my fun dinner, my birthday dinner, my very belated birthday dinner will be in next week's video. So yeah, I will see you all here in whatever comes next. All right, so there is no grocery haul this week because I am doing the Prolon 5-day modified day fast, or I just butchered all of that. So it's Prolon 5-day fasting mimicking plan. This is great. I've done it a few times before, as I discussed in the intro. But I did want to just show you guys what comes in each box, or what comes in the box. My one complaint with this system is that there is so much packaging, and I get that they have to be able to, package things in a way that keeps them fresh and makes it easy for people, but I really do feel like there would be an easier or a less wasteful way to do this. One thing that they have changed in the boxes is it used to come with a water bottle. So it used to come with this, Prolon water bottle that you use. I'll show you guys they call it an energy drink. So there's a drink mix It used to come with a water bottle in each one, and they've gotten rid of that at least. And they're fine water bottles. I have a whole bunch of them. I've given a few of them away. They're really nice, if you go hiking or camping, because they are extremely lightweight. So there is that, and they are recyclable, but at least they don't do this anymore, which is good. But in general, there is a lot of packaging. So I will try not to mention that as I go throughout. So it comes in this beautiful box. Open it up on the inside. And it has a quote from Hippocrates, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food." So Prolon is the 5-day nutritional program, FMD, fasting mimicking diet, designed to nourish your body and mind. And then it has the 5 days. So you can scan the QR code. I have not. I've done this a number of times, so I don't really need to have the support that it provides. There's the QR code huge on the back. But it does give you some information here. Next steps on your journey to a new you. Number 1, register to start your start day. Check your Prolon kit just to make sure that everything's in there. If you're missing something, they give you an email address or a website to go to. Get health coaching if you need it, and join the community. So they do have an online community. If you are wanting to, do a supported fast, you can definitely do that. So that comes in the box. And then there's going to be a box for each day. There's also a little information kit here that just kind of tells you what's in the kit, how to prepare, how to use it, all kinds of helpful tips, how to mix the L drink, which I'll show, what's in the supplements, when to take them, how to brew the tea, who shouldn't do it, what you might experience if you had adverse events happen. And then the meal plan is also listed on this little card. So it just kind of tells you what to eat, and you can mix up when you eat these things during the day, but you don't want to eat things from one box on another day. You don't want to be moving around, the box ingredients to a different day. Try to get that closer so you guys can see it. But more than anything, tells you kind of when to take the supplements. You can drink the tea whenever you want. Okay, so let's look at, we'll just show you one box, and then I'll do, the boxes are all pretty similar. So this is the box for day 1. Day 1 says transforming to a fasted state, fat burning and cellular preparation. They each have a day, like what they are supposed to be doing. Day 2 is fat burning and ketogenesis. Day 3 says autophagy and cleanup slate. Day 4 is cellular rejuvenation, what we all want. And then day 5 is renewal and change. So I will say the things that come in these boxes I really do like them, and they make the fasting mimicking diet really easy to follow because they're really tasty. I can't imagine anyone disliking these things. They're really good. And every time I do it, I'm cooking up the soups at work, and my assistant always comments that they smell really good, because they are. They're really well done. So each little box is going to have, this is all you get for the whole day. So it makes it really easy. That is one nice thing about fasting, is that there's very few dishes to do, and it's really easy to prepare. So day 1 is going to have the most food, and I think the calorie breakdown on day 1 is around 1,000 calories. The other days are about 700 to 800. So this one, you get the most food. And since I've done this a number of times, I actually don't always end up eating all the food that comes in day 1. I just kind of see how I feel. So for the day today, I've actually consumed a couple of things in this box. So I've had my 2 packets of the alga oil. So this is the omega supplement and DHA. I find that this is it is vegan, but it is extremely fishy tasting. I mean, it's made from alga instead of fish, but it is really fishy. So that's one thing to be on the lookout for. And then also 2 packets of tea, which I have also had. The spearmint and lemon and the just regular spearmint. These are really good. Some of the other days probably have the hibiscus tea in them. We'll look at another box too. So the things that I have with lunch, I'm supposed to take the NR1, which is the vegetable powder with vitamins and mineral supplements. So it's just a vitamin and mineral blend. You can get when you fast, people who do fast, you can get kind of mineral deficient because you're not consuming a lot of food. Well, when you're fasting, you're not consuming any food, but just keeping your electrolyte balance in check is going to help prevent some of the negative symptoms people feel when they're fasting. So there's those 2 guys. There's also going to be 2 soups. Each day has 2 soups. This day has the carrot ginger and the red bell pepper and onion. And these are really easy to prepare. If I'm at work, I just throw them in my I have a little lunchtime crock pot. So I just throw them in there and let it, warm up until I'm ready to eat it. When I'm at home, I usually just do them on the stovetop, but they do have microwave instructions on the back as well. So you can stovetop or microwave, but they're really, really easy to prepare and very minimal ingredients in these. And then this day I also get a pack of olives. These ones are olives with a touch of sea salt. Some of the packages, I don't know if this box has them, have the olives with herbs that are really good too. The olives are delicious. Like they are, I love olives, so this is really good. These crackers are so delicious. If they sold these crackers as like a standalone, I would absolutely buy them. Almond and kale crackers, they're really, really tasty. The days that have these are my favorite. Not every day has these, so the days that have the crackers are going to be day 1, 3, and 5. So days 2 and 4 do not have the crackers. And then you get a couple of bars. So day 1, you get the most bars. You actually get 3. So you get 2 of the meal, kind of like a meal replacement bar. This is the fasting mimicking L bar. So 2 of these, they're the same. They're really tasty. And then you also get this little delicious little dessert bar. This is the Cocoa Crisp bar. Oh, they're really, really good. So on the other days, you only get either 1 or 2 bars depending on the day. So we'll look at a day 2 because day 2 and 4 are really similar, and then days 3 and 5 are going to be really similar. So day 2, you do start getting the drink, the L Nutra drink, and there are instructions on how to mix this. You don't drink this straight. You mix it with water and kind of drink it throughout the day. There's also going to be day 2, you get, 2 packs. There we go. There's one with the Italian herbs. So olives with Italian herbs or olives with sea salt. So you get 2. Oh, I don't want to. Did I put that back in the box? Yes, I did. Okay. Don't want to get my stuff mixed up. You also get the supplements still. Be way more tea on the other days, I think. Yeah, there's like 4 tea bags. So starting with day 2, you get 4 tea bags. So you get a spearmint and spearmint lemon, and then you get 2 of the hibiscus tea. So you get a lot more tea on the rest of the days. This one does also have, these are the supplements. So on day 2, you do get, oh yes, the olives that I took out. This is why it's good that it's written down. Put the olives back in there. You get just 1 bar and then the nighttime bar. So that is how the little kits look. And, by the end of it, you do end up with, like I said, there's a lot of packaging. So every little thing is packaged, makes it really easy, but it does mean that you have there's a ton of packaging. And, this big box is not recyclable for sure. I mean, it's beautiful and the presentation is great, but the whole point is with a lot of this is about longevity. That's kind of one of the main goals with this program is to kind of help with cellular turnover and perhaps longevity. And if we are trashing the planet with tons of waste, I guess to get all physiologic or get into the ethics of creating a lot of waste if we're trying to extend life on the planet. We got to take care of it. But yeah, that's a discussion for another day. So this is the Prolon kit. If you guys have questions, please leave those in the comments below. If you're interested in getting the kit, I don't have a code for it, but there are usually a lot of, I'm sure if you search online, there's going to be people that are sponsored by Prolon that have 20% off coupons, and they do run specials. They also have it where you can set up on a subscription plan, so you do it once a quarter and you get a discount. But again, I'm not sponsored by this company. I've used it a number of times. I just really, I enjoy it. So there we go. This is day 1 of my FMD fasting protocol. And we're back. So in the outro, I am going to do something I did do it last week, but it feels like I haven't done it in a while, which is talk about my check-in with check-in photos. I'm also going to go over how things went on the Prolon 5-day fasting mimicking diet. So if you are here to hear about that, look at the timestamps in the description box below. I'm going to talk about my check-in first, and I'll talk about the fast after. So my check-in from this week. Here are my check-in photos. And let's talk about what I sent for my check-in. So first question is about digestion, as always, and I said it's improving, but still working on my lower abdominal bloating and core control. How do I feel overall well-being? I said good, enjoying the extra pre and post-workout carbs and the increased workout volume. So I think I mentioned that he did increase the volume per workout, and it's been great. It's felt really good. Yeah, it's been really good. How is my recovery and what week of the mesocycle I'm in? So this was meso week 4, which means it's a 6-week mesocycle, but week 6 is a deload week. So week 4, you're really pushing toward like 1 to 2 reps in reserve, kind of really pushing hard, but not quite as hard as week 5, obviously. I said I'm enjoying the increased workout volume, some mild day of soreness that is fully resolved by the next workout. So I did have a couple of days where I was like, one day my upper back was really sore. I'm like, what did I do? I'm like, oh yeah, like your workout this morning. So definitely feeling a little bit of the increased volume, but again, it was all resolved by the next day. It wasn't anything like bad or lingering. I think part of that is just because, at least for me, I tend to hold soreness longer in my lower extremities than I do in my upper body. So if I get sore in my upper body, it usually is kind of transient, like it comes on and then it goes away. Any exercise I'm having issues with? I said none. Anything else you should know about? I said no. Weight, blood pressure, how many liters of water I'm drinking a day, how I stuck to the diet, quality of sleep, and recovery. I put both of those as 8s this week. They were both pretty good. Energy was about a 7. It was pretty good as well. And digestion I put also as an 8. So it's getting there, but it's not perfect. It's still a work in progress. Stress this week, I said it was a 4 to a 7. Nothing crazy, normal work, life, stress. Appetite, I put as a 4 to 5, which is just kind of normal. Extra carbs pre and post workout are very satiating. Like it's a lot of extra, like the first day I was like, oh my gosh, like a lot of extra carbs to eat around the workout, but it feels really good. Like it feels really filling, which is nice. Glucose, steps, sleep routine, none of that's changed. Personal goals for the week. Be honest, areas you could do better in. I said go all out on my final week of my upper meso, and number 2, vacuums and core work, as always. That will be my goal moving forward every week. Pumps with training sessions, I put as a 7. They were pretty good this week, got some pretty decent pumps. And then how does the workout load feel overall per training session on a scale of 1 to 10? I put it as a 6. Like the increased volume I definitely felt, but it still doesn't feel like unmanageable or undoable. Like the workouts still feel very doable. So that's good. Anything else I should know about training? I said, I'm looking forward to getting back to my lower focus meso in a couple of weeks at my new gym. Would you be able to take a look at it and make any adjustments to volume, exercises, etc., so it's ready to go after I finish this meso? There is a glute drive machine, but not a great place to set up barbell thrusts. Standing and lying leg curl machines, pit shark belt squat, pendulum, and hack squat machines. I would love to add in belt squats if you think they're appropriate and beneficial. No kickback machine, but lots of cable stations for cable kickbacks. So I do love doing things on the belt squat. So I'm excited to add that back in. And just in general, like kind of giving him a little bit of notice, so that it wasn't like asking for these changes to be implemented instantly, since I do still have, a couple weeks in my mesocycle. Any exercise cause joint pain? I said no. My sleep score was an 87 this week, and my resting heart rate and HRV, resting heart rate was a 46. And HRV was a 63. So, and then pictures and videos if I had any, which I did not. So that was what I sent for my check-in this week. And now let's talk about what ended up happening with my 5-day fasting mimicking diet. So I had planned on doing it, starting the fast on Saturday, going through Wednesday, and then having the first day back on the fast be Thursday. Or off the fast, be Thursday. And oh my goodness, on Saturday and Sunday, like I was just like so tired and like really bad brain fog, but like I slept really well. And like, I was just like, sometimes it can be a little bit rough at the beginning of a fast, but I was doing okay. And I was kind of pushing through. Monday morning, I woke up and like, kind of almost that feeling you have when you're hungover, where like your head is just like, kind of like throbbing and heavy, and you just feel like you're walking through a swamp, kind of that feeling. I'm like, I'm still gonna go to the gym. Like I'm gonna, just kind of do a really light workout, see how it feels. And I felt better. So worked out, felt better, was feeling better, was doing pretty good for a couple hours, and then got to work and felt like I had been hit by a semi truck. It was brutal. Like I was really, really wrecked. So just kept thinking like, maybe I need some electrolytes. Maybe I just need to make sure I'm really hydrated. But I was just, it was the brain fog, or like, it was not brain fog, but like just this feeling of like head oppression, perhaps for lack of a better word, was really intense. Sorry for the jump cut. This dog across the street started barking again. So took a little pause. So yes, I was feeling just kind of decimated, like, and just, I don't even know how to describe it. I was talking to my assistant about it, and I have fasted a number of times. Like I've been through this particular fast at least 5 times with, you know, different experiences each time, but never did it feel like bad. And I was feeling bad, like really, really bad. Like, you know, I think I maybe just need to like get some electrolytes maybe, or take a nap or something. So I ended up leaving work a little bit early, and I was set up to do the call or the live with Dave and Jackie from Blue Collar Bodybuilding. And I thought, you know what, I had the little soup packet when I got home, and I ate the little package of crackers and drank a lot of water. I'm like, I'm just going to eat this and like, you know, see how I feel. So I did, and it did not make any difference at all. Like I was still just feeling like at that point I was starting to get like dizzy and shaky, and I'm like, I'm not hungry. Like it wasn't that, and I tested my blood sugar. So I was not going like hypoglycemic, like my blood sugar was normal. Like I said, I was really well hydrated. I'm like, I'm going to just give it like another, like at that point, like another hour, because I was feeling so bad in those moments. Like it was almost like I feel when I have vertigo, like I could, like if someone had asked me to like drive a car, I'm like, I don't know if it would have been safe for me to do that. Like just the way I was feeling, and just like, I was starting to, like I said, get shaky. I was starting to feel like I was having a little bit like AFib or something going on. Like I was feeling very, very unwell. Let's just put it that way. So I was going to give it until 4 o'clock, because I was going out with Dave and Jackie a little after 5, and 4 o'clock came around, and I was just like, I didn't feel like I could safely, or it was smart to continue to push past that point. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna eat a little something and just see, you know, if that makes it better. I will tell you this, within 30 minutes of eating, I felt like a normal person again. And then of course I felt really bad for breaking the fast. I'm like, well, I feel fine now. I should not have done that. I'm like, yeah, you feel fine now. Like you absolutely should have done that. I mean, to say it was night and day, it doesn't even begin to describe it. Like I literally went from feeling like I could barely function to feeling like completely normal in a half hour. So did the live with Dave and Jackie, which there'll be clips of in next week's video. And I just, yeah, I felt, like I said, I felt kind of a lot of guilt, because I've never had to end the fast before. And I felt like I'd maybe like given up or given in, and I should have just pushed through and all these things. I'm like, you know what? It's not like this is not a competition. Like fasting should not be misery. And it never had been for me in the past. You know, I'd always really enjoyed my experiences. And actually in the past, I'd usually found that like from days 3, 4, and 5 were usually like some of my better days on the fast. So it was definitely a unique experience. I don't know what kind of caused that to happen. I feel like in some ways it was a good experience to have, because, you know, now if I had a client who was wanting to do this and had a similar experience, at least I could kind of be aware of those things and just know that they are so not normal. And, you know, I think, yeah, it would not have been wise to continue to push past that point, especially like having to like go to work and like have, you know, a busy week and have stuff going on. It did not seem wise. So that is how the fasting mimicking diet went for me this time. I still do have 2 full days, well, like 2.5 days of it left. So I will do those 2 days together, or even maybe just one day, you know, split them up over the next couple of weeks, because I do see amazing benefits, health benefits. I mean, immediately, you know, I see benefits in my resting heart rate, my HRV, my sleep score improves. Like I see a lot of actual benefits that are really important to me. So I see the value in it for sure. And I've not changed my mind on that just because this was a one-off experience that was not good. You know, like I said, I've done this 5 or 6 times in the past, and I've always had a very positive experience and had really great things to say and feel. And, you know, I've always really loved the experience. This time was just different, and not in good ways. but I feel like it was, there were benefits to be had there for what it was. So that was how the fast went. And because I'm worried that this video is going to be so long, I am going to put clips from my conversation with Dave and Jackie in next week's video. It was really fun though, I will say that. And we had a really awesome conversation. And I'm glad that I was actually able to be mentally coherent and available for it, because about an hour and a half prior to us going live, I was definitely not. So yeah, that's how this week went. Oh, next week also, I am going to be trying out a new recipe or a new thing in my Ninja Creamy. Yes, I am bringing the Ninja Creamy back from the appliance graveyard under the counter, putting it back up on the top shelf and seeing if I can make a fun new creation in the Ninja Creamy to share with everybody. So until then, let me know if you have any questions or comments in the comments section below. And please, please, please spread positivity and light to yourself and everyone around you. You are worthy, you deserve it. I appreciate you. I am so thankful that you are here with me on this journey through its ups and downs and all the weirdness of the last couple of weeks. I really do appreciate it. It means so much to me. So until next time, I will see you all here next time.